Hi, grade threes. Yesterday we started our unit in geometry and we learned the difference between 2D shapes and 3D objects. We learned that 2D shapes have two dimensions, a length and a width, but no height. They are essentially flat. So a square is an example of a 2D shape. A 3D object has three dimensions with a length, width, and height and are not flat. A cube is an example of a 3D object. Today we're going to focus on 2D shapes, and specifically we are going to learn what a polygon is and how we name them, or how we name polygons. Let's start by looking at some examples and non-examples of polygons. And I want you, as I'm adding these examples and non-examples, to think about what makes a polygon a polygon. There's two things that a figure has to have in order for it to be considered a polygon. A square is an example of a polygon, but a circle is not. A triangle is a polygon, but a half circle isn't. A rectangle is a polygon too, and a quarter of a circle is not. A parallelogram is an example of a polygon, whereas this figure, even though it looks like a square, look at the corners. They're actually rounded. You should be thinking to yourself, I'm starting to see a trend. A pentagon is another example of a polygon, but this shape here is not a polygon. Let's take a look at the examples so far. All of the examples that are polygons have straight edges, whereas these examples over here do not have straight edges. They have curved lines. So anything that has a curved line is not a polygon. Let's keep going and see if we can further define what a polygon is. This trapezoid is an example of a polygon, but this cube is not a polygon. This shape down here is a polygon, but this one is not. This shape is a polygon. This is not. Lastly, this is a polygon, and this is not. So let's take a look at these last examples. A cube is a 3D object. All 3D objects are not polygons. Polygons have to be two-dimensional or 2D. If you take a look at these last non-examples down below, you'll see that the lines do not join. Polygons have to have straight edges that join together. So let's see if we can come up with the definition. So a polygon is a closed 2D shape that has straight sides. Let's take a further look. This example is a 2D shape with straight lines, and the sides are joined. We actually call this type of polygon that has equal length sides a regular polygon. You can also see polygons that have different lengths of sides that are joined together. We call this an irregular polygon. Figures that are not polygons are not joined together. They don't have straight lines. And then lastly, if you see an object, or sorry, a figure with the lines crossed, that also is not a polygon. Let's do some examples together. So I want you to try to answer the question, is this a polygon in your head? First of all, we need to make sure we remember that polygons have straight sides and are closed 2D shapes. So we look at this triangle and we say, yeah, this is a polygon because it fits those two categories. A moon has curved sides, so no, this is not a polygon. The hexagon below has straight sides that are joined together, so it is a polygon. This figure has straight sides, but they don't join together, so that means this is not a polygon. This diamond has straight sides and they're joined together, so it is a polygon. Lastly, if we take a look at this figure, you would say to yourself, this actually is not a 2D object or a 2D shape. This is a 3D object. We know 3D objects are not polygons, so this is not a polygon. How do we name polygons? What we first need to do is count the number of sides. So let's take a look at this triangle. A triangle has 3 sides, so any shape that has 3 sides is called a triangle. Any 4-sided figure is called a quadrilateral. Now, this is a big word, grade 3s, and there's lots of different types of quadrilaterals. Now, can you think of some other shapes that have 4 sides? I know you're thinking to yourself, a square has 4 sides, and yes, that is a type of quadrilateral. A rectangle also has 4 sides, and it is a quadrilateral too. A square just has 4 equal sides, or we call it a regular polygon because all 4 sides are the same length. A 5-sided polygon is called a pentagon. A 6-sided figure or shape is called a hexagon. Lastly, an 8-sided figure is called an octagon. And you can remember octagon, I think I said in our meeting yesterday, by thinking of octopus, or an octopus has 8 arms, so an octagon has 8 sides. Now, polygons can look different even though they have the same number of sides. Now, triangles, they can look really different depending on the angles between the lengths of the sides. So here are 3 different looking triangles. Now, quadrilaterals can also look very different. We know that a quadrilateral is also known. We can have a square that is a quadrilateral, so a regular polygon right here. We can have also something that's called a trapezoid. This is a trapezoid, or you can just have another irregular polygon with 4 sides, and these are all quadrilaterals. And of course, you can have a rectangle as well. Now, a 5-sided figure is called a pentagon, and a regular pentagon would look like this first figure down below. But if you take a look at the next 2 examples beside it, those are 2 examples of irregular polygons. Okay? Now, a polygon with 6 sides is known as a hexagon. This is an example of a regular hexagon, which just means that it has all 6 sides are the same length. But look at this example here. This is another 6-sided figure, and it's known as a hexagon. And here's another example of a 6-sided figure, and we call this a hexagon. These last 2 examples are examples of irregular polygons, or we say irregular hexagons. And then lastly, an octagon has 8 sides. The first example here is an example of a regular polygon, or we call regular octagon. These 2 examples are irregular octagons, but they have 8 sides, and they look completely different than that first stop sign, I always call them, as an example. Now, I've got a cool little song for you guys to watch. And in this song that we're about to watch, they're going to show you all of the different kinds of polygons all the way up to 10. So you're going to notice there's 3 polygons that are in this song that you don't need to know in grade 3, but they are including it in this song. So have fun watching.
A polygon is a shape with lines that connect. The number of sides tells us the name of the shape. A polygon is a shape with lines that connect. The number of sides tells us the name of the shape. A triangle is a polygon with 3 angles, 3 sides. A quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 angles, 4 sides. A pentagon is a polygon with 5 angles, 5 sides. A hexagon is a polygon with 6 angles, 6 sides. A heptagon is a polygon with 7 angles, 7 sides. An octagon is a polygon with 8 angles, 8 sides. A nonagon is a polygon with 9 angles, 9 sides. A decagon is a polygon with 10 angles, 10 sides. A polygon is a shape with lines that connect. The number of sides tells us the name of the shape. A polygon is a shape with lines that connect. The number of sides tells us the name of the shape. Draw a triangle up in the air. 1, 2, 3. Draw a quadrilateral up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw a pentagon up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a hexagon up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw a heptagon up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw an octagon up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw a nonagon up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Draw a decagon up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A polygon is a shape with lines that connect. The number of sides tells us the name of the shape. A polygon is a shape with lines that connect. The number of sides tells us the name of the shape.
All right, grade 3s, let's go over today's assignment. So you will need to complete 2 slides that I've created. Number 1 is this a polygon? And then number 2 is name that polygon. You're going to have to remember these polygons. Triangles that have 3 sides, quadrilaterals have 4 sides, pentagons have 5 sides, hexagons have 6, octagons have 8 sides. This information is on page 92 of your Unit 6 booklet. Hopefully everybody has found that booklet and will be ready to work in it tomorrow. So I'm going to show you how to do the assignment. I'm just going to exit out here of my full screen so you can actually see what it's going to look like. So the first assignment, part 1, is this a polygon? You're going to sort the pictures on the sides as being a polygon or not a polygon by dragging them in the right category. So all of these shapes that are polygons, you're going to drag them and put them on this side of the table. All of the shapes that are not polygons, you're going to drag them and put them on this side of the table. So let's just do the first example together. So here you look and see, does this shape have straight sides? Yes, it does. And are all the sides joined together? Yes, they are. So this would be a polygon. So you would click on the picture and then click and hold, left click and keep holding, and drag this figure over to the polygon side. Now you take a look at this example here. This is not a polygon because it does not have straight sides. So you would click on this oval and drag over to not a polygon. So you would keep going, do that for the rest of these figures. So I'm just going to put these back over here. And let's take a look at the second part to this assignment. So slide number 2 is called Name That Polygon. You're going to sort the polygons on the sides by dragging them under their correct name. So you're going to put all of the triangles that you see on over here and over here, you're going to put them under this category here. So the shapes that have 3 sides are triangles, you're going to put them in this category. Every 2D shape that has 4 sides, you're going to put under quadrilateral. All the 5-sided figures are going to go under pentagons. All the 6-sided figures you're going to drag and put them under hexagons. And then lastly, the 8-sided figures, you're going to put them under octagons. Hopefully it's clear to everybody how to do this assignment. Okay, thanks grade 3s, and don't forget to turn in your assignment as well when you're done.